Set now and towing the slab, Shota Imanaga. How about a scouting report on him?
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
Mike Tauchman leading things off and takes a strike. Oh, 2 now as he swings through it.
Man, that was pretty gross right there.
And a swing and a miss. One away.
He's locked in at the plate when he's using the whole field. He was out in front there. Just needs to let the ball travel a little more, and his timing will be back on track. Good pitch for the strikeout.
Luis Robert now. Top of the zone for a called strike. Robert, the native of Cuba, signed with the White Sox in May of 2017. The delivery to Robert. And it's even up.
One ball,
one out,
one strike.
base is empty. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Well, there appears to be no problem settling in on the mound out there today. It looks pretty tough to start this one, punching out the first 2 hitters of this ball game. And somebody's going to have to put the bat on the ball, put it in play, and get something going.
Andrew Benintendi stands in now and watches strike 1. And that's outside. That's out to center field. Crow Armstrong should have it. Brings it in. And that is that. It's the White Sox nothing. Cubbies coming to bat. Major League Baseball is on the show. Back here at Wrigley Field, and starting in this one, Martin Perez.
Well, he comes at hitters with a 5-pitch mix, so for him, it's always interesting to see how he utilizes those weapons. He may lean on 1 or 2 pitches depending on how things are going and how things are working, but if he can control 4 or even 5 of those offerings, look out, hitters. It's going to be a tough day. He's really going to be able to keep those guys off balance.
Bottom of the first, Ian Happ up to hit. Perez, a former All-Star. He features a sinker, a changeup, a cutter, a curve, and he works in a 4-seamer. Outside, and it's 2-0. And another ball. That one misses, so a leadoff walk.
His ability to draw walks has been something that's been part of his career since day 1.
Here's Kyle Tucker. That one misses. That's 5 straight. Happ gets his lead at first with nobody out. Step off throw to first. Half dives back in safely. Kicks and deals. Rudder takes off. Fought off foul. The 1-1 is fouled off.
Well, notice they've been pitching him hard inside, and the key is if you're going to make a mistake, you got to make it off the dish. If it leaks out over the plate with this kind of power, you'll be asking for a new baseball.
That one way inside.
Ball.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Runner at first with no outs here. Slashes this one, and it could be trouble. Half on his way to third. Headed for the plate. He will score, and they take the lead.
Well, they strike first as he gets the job done to bring home the run. Anytime you can drive the ball into the gap the other way, it feels so good. And that's when you know you're right where you need to be at the plate. It's even better when it gets you extra bases. Gotta love looking in at your dugout and seeing your teammates fired up.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Now it'll be the Cubs DH, Seiya Suzuki. First pitch misses.
1-0.
That one down the line, and it goes just foul. No outs. Runner on second. Struck him out swinging. Pulled the string on the changeup.
Definitely made him chase a little bit out of the zone right there. I don't think that's a strike if he takes it. Pretty textbook pitching. Get ahead in the count, get the guy in the box on his heels, and then force him to chase your pitch where he doesn't have much of a chance to do any damage.
So digging in, Michael Busch. He swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1.
0-1.
One out and a runner at second. This one in the dirt. Nothing doing. Count moves to 1-1. Popped up. Vaughn under it. 2 away. Here's a look at the Cubs lineup. They're dealing with a sinker specialist on the mound, which can be a big-time challenge when he's right and working mostly from the knees down.
Well, I think the approach you take is really try to lay off of those pitches down in the zone until he gets some called strikes and then forces you to go after that pitch. Until then, make him elevated because guys that throw those sinkers, those 2-seamers, really hard for them to be effective up in the zone. Those are pitches you can hammer. But when you get a cookie, you don't want to miss it.
Man on second, 2 down.
Nope, outside.
They've got him working a little harder in this first frame than he anticipated.
On the ground, Rojas tosses to first. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. Cubs pick up a run on the RBI double. It's now 1-0. It's Major League Baseball, and it's on the show. All set for the
Leading
start
off
of the
for White
inning.
Sox,
Here's the cleanup
first
hitter for the
baseman, number
Sox,
25,
Andrew Vaughn.
Andrew Vaughn.
Shota back to work. Outside with a breaking ball.
No.
Clyde Washington doing the umpiring behind the dish in this one. Sometimes considered a bit of a pitcher's umpire, Singy.
He likes the low ball, which traditionally favors pitching. But, you know, hitters today are pretty good at dropping their barrel down. So we'll see how it goes in this one.
Swing and a miss. Now 2-1.
Vivo, 1 strike.
Hard on the ground to first. He steps on the bag and quickly one away in the second.
Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 5, Josh Rojas.
Here's Josh Rojas. And when you talk about elite defensive third baseman, this guy is at the top of the list.
Stud. When you look at players like this, you play that hot corner, got to be pretty courageous over there with the way balls come off the bat. That's the kind of guy that every year you expect him to be in the All-Star game and have a gold glove, if not a platinum glove.
So what are the skills you look for that make a really good defensive third baseman that elite?
Well, Boog, one of the things I think about immediately are just the feet. Does he have good feet? Is he able to quickly react? And when you have good feet, you've got soft hands. And soft hand defenders are able to make tough plays look easy.
Next pitch is outside. Battling here as he fouls it away. One down, base is empty. And there's a ball. Three and two. The pitch is outside, and ball 4. And that's how they get their first base runner of the game. And here is Sosa to the plate. Swing and a high fly ball out towards right field. Snags it for the second out.
Batting 7th, the designated hitter, Miguel Vargas.
Miguel Vargas steps to the plate for the White Sox. That pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Got him looking, and he didn't like the call. So no runs, no base hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Now to the bottom of the second. It's the Cubs 1 and the White Sox nothing. And welcome back to the ballpark. The batter now, Nico Hoerner. He's kind of an outlier, especially when guys are consciously sacrificing contact to deliver power. Swing and a miss. Looked off balance that time.
Yeah, his swing is so good. It's in the zone a long time. He gets the barrel to it a lot, and that produces more base hits.
Just missed. Siggy, one of the things that's interesting is that guys really don't worry about swing and miss from an offensive standpoint anymore. So when you see somebody who contacts the ball like this, do you think of that as plus value?
Absolutely. If he's doing damage now, if he's rolling over and grounding out, then it's a different story. But, yeah, if he can put the ball in the gaps or over the fence, 100%.
And next for the Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong. First pitch just misses.
Yeah, and the domino effect of that is running up pitch counts on pitchers and then either getting them to a place of fatigue or getting into the bullpen perhaps before you get to those higher leverage arms at the back end.
Ground ball right side, and that's just foul. One of the things that Jim Leland used to say when I was broadcasting with the Marlins, the longer a plate appearance goes for a batter, the more likely it is that something good will happen for the hitter. And that skips in the dirt. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and now two gone. Digging in, Gage Workman. Swings through that one. 0-1.
Yeah, and I figured you would get Kotsay into this because you had a free dinner at his house the other night.
That is true. That one fouled off. Inside. Now 1-2. 2 out, space is empty. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Drops into the glove, and that is that. We played 2 innings. It's 1-0. On the north side of Chicago, John Shelby and Chris Singleton. Top half of the 3rd inning. Now it's the shortstop, Brooks Baldwin. The shortstop takes the ball. Fouled off. He was late. The 1-1 is fouled off. Fights that one away. Still 1-2. High fly ball out into left center field. And there's one down.
Batting 9.
Here's Corey Lee.
Corey Lee.
Lee getting the start at catcher, 26 years old, a former first-round pick back in 2019. And that one fouled off. Swing and a drive, deep right field. That's back. Makes the catch gliding onto the warning track.
Man, I'm telling you, you better have your life insurance policy right. When you challenge the Ivy, there's brick behind that. It's not forgiving at all, but he seemed to be concerned about one thing, and that's making that catch. Nice job.
And first offering is fouled off. Fouled off left side. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. 1-2-3 go the White Sox. They still trail 1-0. Back here at the friendly confines, ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now the Cubs catcher, Miguel Amaya.
Well, not only can Perez pitch, but he can also sing. Remember, he performed the national anthem for Team Venezuela leading up to the World Baseball Classic. If you watch that video, you'll see how much that moment meant to him.
Check swing, called strike. Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. That K is his third of the game.
Really love the pitch sequence right there. I'm telling you what, pitcher and catcher on the same page right now.
Ian Happ.
So the batting order turns over. Here's the Cubs leadoff man, Ian Happ. Ball one there.
1-0.
That's outside. Ball two. That's in there.
In today's game, not that many fastball counts, but hitters still in the back of their minds, they're looking for one. 2-0 changeup call right there. Excellent pitch selection to go with.
One down, base is empty. And it's fouled away. Oh, can't get out of the way of the fastball, and that's going to sting. He had two strikes on him, and he hit him. So here's Kyle Tucker now, doubled in his first AB. And ball one to the right fielder. Snap throw to first.
No, he's in there.
Back on a dive. Swings through that one for strike one.
He's going to have to make sure that he stays patient because he is the focal point in that lineup. They're going to pitch him tough. They're going to pitch around him. And when he doesn't see other guys doing anything, what you can do is become a little too aggressive and chase out of the zone.
Runner on the go. Cut on and miss. Throw to second. Save.
Well, with that kind of elite arm he has behind the plate, man, it's a pretty big deal when you can swipe it back against this dude. Maybe more than anything, it prevents teams from just testing him, thinking that they can even steal a base. But right here, they successfully moved that runner up to scoring position. Good job.
That's foul off to the right side. Keeps the AB going. Got him swinging.
Well, I'm not sure what he was waiting on right there.
Now
He got the
batting,
changeup
the
and still late on it. You
Yeah.
rarely see that. It almost makes you think
Suzuki.
that he was trying to set the pitcher up. I mean, if you can't catch up to the off-speed stuff, there's no way you're going to touch a fastball.
Now here is Seiya Suzuki. Struck out swinging his first time. In time to Vaughn. Third out, and that ends the frame. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left. On to inning number 4. It's the Cubs 1 and the White Sox nothing. New inning getting
Leading off
started,
for the
and
White
now
Sox,
here's the big
the
center fielder, Luis Robert.
Roberts.
And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Well, he's been incredibly efficient in this one. First pitch strike percentage over 70%. That's well above league average, and that's what's allowed him to pitch well up until this point.
In the air, left field, down the line, and that's a fair ball.
A late jump, and I think that was the difference on the play, Boog. It's not always easy seeing the ball off the bat. Something to improve.
Benintendi.
Andrew Benintendi up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a foul back, and that's out of play. And that is out of play.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, trying to stay out of the double play right here.
Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Fouls it back with 2 strikes. White Sox down a run. Just misses with that one.
Man, oh man, I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
Next offering is down low.
Way to lay off that pitch down.
Good battle here. About to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And just misses with that one.
Good spot there, but didn't get the strike at the knees and doesn't seem too convinced by the call out there on the mound as he tries to get a better sense of the umpire's strike zone.
Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Came inside with that 2-strike fastball nicely and just bunched him up on the inside part of the plate. Couldn't get around on it and catch it out front. Many times if you do, it's a foul ball. And you know, a lot of pitchers, they really don't like working inside with 2 strikes because they do not want to hit that batter. And when they've got him up against the ropes, got to figure out a way to put him away. Did a nice job right there.
Robert dives back in. Andrew Vaughn now. And downstairs. Bats in there, and the count even at 1. White Sox down a run.
He was a little out front, but did a good job keeping the hands back long enough to foul that pitch off.
Ground ball right side, could be 2. Over to Swanson. He turns it on to Bush. It's a double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We're midway in the 4th. It's the Cubs 1 and the White Sox nothing. Bottom 4. Now the Cubs 4-hole hitter,
Cubs,
Michael Bush.
The first baseman, Michael Bush.
And that's in for a strike. 0-1.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
Swings through that one for strike 2. The next pitch misses, and that is ball 1. And a foul ball, he stays alive. In the air, left field. And Benintendi able to make the grab. And there's one down.
That's just a really nice catch on the run right
7.
there. He saved extra bases for sure. If the pitcher's his friend, he'll give him a second to catch his breath before he's ready to deal the next pitch.
Swanson, batting with 1 down, takes a strike. Base is empty, 1 away. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. On the ground right side. And Swanson is set down.
Good fade and sinking action to that changeup. Got that hitter to roll
Now
over.
batting, the second baseman, Nico.
2 outs, base is empty. And next for the Cubs, Nico Horner. Grounded out his first time. Swing and a liner foul off to the right. Next offering is in for a strike.
Generally, second, third time through the lineup, you want to be able to lean on those secondary pitches and command them. Looks like he's doing a nice job of it.
Foul ball, it stays 0-2. Soft contact in the air, makes the grab, and that's the inning. So they make short work of him there. On to the top of the 5th we go. It's the Cubs 1 and the White Sox nothing. Here at Wrigley Field, top 5, John Sciambi with Chris Singleton. And leading it off, Josh Rojas. Shota back to work. That misses the zone. 1-0. Late swing, foul to the left. That one called a strike. 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes. And that's 6 Ks for him in this one. No messing around with the pitch calling in that sequence right there. 4 pitches, all fastballs.
Yeah, and that makes me think that was the plan before the at-bat even started. If you think you can simply just beat a guy with only your fastball, why throw him anything else until he shows you he can handle it?
Lenny Sosa steps to the plate for the White Sox. Flied to right his first time. And he chases that one below the zone.
No ball. 1 strike.
One down, base is empty. Hit in the air, right field. Tucker puts it away for the out. 2 up, 2 down. So now here's the DH, Miguel Vargas. Struck out looking at his first at bat. And that's downstairs. And it's 1-0. Just missed. Swing and a base hit. And that keeps the inning alive.
Now batting, the shortstop, Brooks.
Dominant
Baldwin.
performance for him today, Boog. Just 2 hits allowed so far. No runs across either. And he's had an answer for just about every hitter he's faced. So I don't think this hit is going to knock him off his stride too much.
Runner at first with 2 away. Brooks Baldwin will hit next. Swinging a foul straight back.
Boog, the runner at first needs to be careful right here. He's dealing with a pickoff artist on the mound.
Vargas leads off first with 2 down to the inning. Now snap throw to first. And he's back in easily. Runner on the move. That's in for a strike.
No ball.
Throw to second. Out at second. That ends the inning.
Well, trying to get into scoring position, but a great catch and throw to end the inning. That's the way to pick up the pitcher.
And we're back.
Leading
Bottom
up
of the inning.
for the
And
Cubs,
here is
the
Pete
center
Crow
fielder,
Armstrong.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
That one outside. And that's ball 1. Trying to bunt his way on. And that goes foul. Liner snagged at first.
It's never fun going back to the
Now
dugout
batting,
after hitting a
the
line
third
drive that
baseman.
finds a glove,
Yay.
but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control. Not a lot of people know this, but this isn't the only Wrigley Field in MLB history. You know, when the league expanded and added the Los Angeles Angels in 1961, they played their first season at a stadium in L.A. called Wrigley Field, which had been the home of the minor league team of the same name.
Next offering in there for a strike. 0-2 now.
Well, he didn't like those first 2 pitches. Now in an 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle, hope he gets a mistake.
And down on strikes. He picks up his 5th strikeout on the hill.
The catcher, number 9.
And now it's Miguel Amaya. His first at bat was a strikeout.
Amaya.
Upstairs. Ball 1. And that drops in for a strike. 2 down, nobody on. Last half of inning number 5. Next pitch misses. And that's ball 2.
1 strike.
And there's a foul ball. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. But they still lead it 1-0. back here at Wrigley
Leading off for
Field.
the
All
White
right,
Sox,
we go to
the
the
shortstop,
top half
Brooks
of inning number
Baldwin.
6. And stepping in is the speedy Brooks Baldwin. That's off the inside corner. Ball 1.
You know, this guy's great speed is in the back of that pitcher's mind. If he can get on, it's going to give him one more thing he's got to think about.
To the right side, but that rolls foul. Grounds one to short. Swanson to first. One up, one down.
The batter, the catcher, Corey Lee.
Here's the catcher, Corey Lee.
Well, on the mound, very efficient, able to produce an outcome, it seems like, within the third or fourth pitch of just about every at-bat.
Right through there for a strike. Next offering is outside. Just missed. Next offering is downstairs.
Here's an opportunity to do some damage and perhaps unlock this offense. 3-1 count. Be ready to turn on a fastball.
And that's ball 4. Tried another splitter, but missed the spot.
Pretty easy walk right there. Last pitch wasn't even much to
The
think
right
about.
fielder, number 18.
Back to the top of the
Mike
lineup. Here's Mike Tauchman, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Close, but called the ball. And that's ball 1.
And now a little barking back towards the umpire. Clearly thought he got that outside corner on what was a pretty big pitch. Sometimes that only makes it worse for you moving forward, but it can also open up that location in the future.
Here goes the runner. Swings and lines a base hit into left field. Throw comes in quickly, so even with the runner on the move,
Now
he holds it second.
Now, just a nice job coming through in a pretty high leverage spot right there. That was maybe even a little off the plate, but no problem getting the barrel to it. Man, he does such a nice job, and that's what you're supposed to do with the pitch in that location. Now a pretty big at bat coming up with a chance to even this ball game up.
So here's Robert now. Check swing, and he went. That's strike 1.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
Tying run in scoring position, and we're in the top half of the 6th. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, obviously that was nowhere near the strike zone by the time it got to the plate, and people at home watching are thinking, what's he swinging at? But I'll tell you, some of the break guys snap off these days is just devastating. It can be so tough to recognize where a pitch like that's going to end up.
Benintendi to the plate. 0 for 2 in this one. That's a ball. Tried to attack with the sweeper. Lee, the lead runner, out at second. Tauchman at first, 2 out of the inning. And it's fouled off. That's in there. And it's 1-2. Just off the inside edge.
That's a really good take.
2 on, 2 outs. That one misses, and that's ball 3. Andrew Vaughn in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. Two on, 2 outs. Got him. That's his 8th strikeout of the game.
A lot of adrenaline, we can see it right there, and sometimes you just got to let it out. That's an outstanding job of taking that, executing, and getting out of a tough inning.
And welcome back to the ballpark. Now it's going to be Ian Happ.
Leading off for the
Well,
Cubs,
both sides
the left
equally
fielder,
as strong.
Ian
So not a good
Happ.
time to try to turn him around with a relief pitcher and put him on the other side of the plate.
And first offering is fouled off. Swing and a miss as he was late. Movement for the White Sox in their bullpen. Jordan Leisure up and loosening in the pen. Boozer warming up as well. Foul ball, still 0-2.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that pitch was.
Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts. Kyle Tucker,
The right fielder,
a.k.a.
number 30,
King Tuck, to the plate now.
Tucker.
Off the mark there, and it's 1-0. Base is empty, 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. This to third. Slings to first, and Tucker is retired.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki.
2 down, base is empty. Seiya Suzuki digs in now. Suzuki goes 5 feet 11 inches, 180 pounds, and he was born in Japan. In the air, right field. Tachman makes a nice grab at a full sprint. Back here at the friendly confines, top of inning number 7, stepping in, Andrew Vaughn. First pitch doesn't find the zone. Movement in the Cubs bullpen. Tyson Miller up and throwing for manager Craig Counsell. Hodge also throwing. Looking to get the tying run on base. And fouled off. And a count 1-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. And that's in the dirt. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Well, he's back out there to begin the 7th. That surprised you at all, Chris?
Yeah, a little bit. It was a little rough 6th inning there, but his skipper's got a lot of confidence in him. But trust me, they will keep a close eye on how he does in this one.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. A big first out here in the 7th via the punch out.
Yeah, it just does so much to change the outlook of an important inning like this. But you got the leadoff hitter, so critical in setting the table when you got a tight game like this. So a strikeout really puts them on their heels.
Here comes the manager out of the Cubs dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Shota Imanaga departs, and he was very good. They'll be happy with that, no doubt. We'll be back with a new pitcher in a minute.
Now pitching for
a new arm into the game, the righty, Tyson
49.
Miller.
Well, the best relievers love the opportunity to come in and protect a tight lead late in the ball game. Some of them are just wired different, so we'll see what he's got here.
Josh Rojas steps to the plate for the White Sox. He is struck out, and he is walked. Check swing, and he went. It's 0-1.
No ball. One strike.
Trying to hold a one-run lead here in the top half of inning number 7. And a foul ball. One down, base is empty. Pitch misses there, and the count 1-2.
Pretty standard high 0-2 fastball right there. If you're smart, you'll look for something down in the zone, but not too far. Don't want to chase that breaking ball in the dirt.
Next pitch is downstairs. Swing and a ball popped in the air. Horner makes the play, and there's 2 down.
Up next for Chicago, the second baseman, Lenny Sosa.
Now it's the second baseman, Lenny Sosa. Just missed. Fastball for a strike.
That fastball, even though it's up, that's the velocity you want to go after. Low 90s, a lot better than trying to hit the high 90s.
And a 1-1. And a foul ball. Here's a 1-2.
That's the ball.
Well, he might have to look for a different put-away pitch right here, 2-2. He's already seen the curveball a couple of times in this at-bat, so might have it timed up and ready for it.
And that skips in the dirt. That one is absolutely belted way back there. And he makes the catch on the track. Just missed a homer that time. Nothing doing here this half. 7th inning stretch time. It's the Cubs 1 and the White Sox nothing. New pitcher for the White Sox, Jordan Leisure.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
Jordan Leisure.
Well, one-run game, so now it's the Cubs hitter in the 4-hole, Michael Busch. And that's downstairs and outside. And that one fouled off. Base knock center field. Could be extra bases. Around first, heading for 2. And he greets the new arm from the bullpen with a double. So, Singy, let's dive into the numbers, courtesy of StatCast. Do you even feel contact being made when you hit a ball that hard?
No, I don't think so, Boog. I mean, that's just the best feeling in the world as a hitter. You square it up perfectly, and it's like you didn't even swing the bat. And There are times the ball feels heavy off your bat, you know it, but this is not one of those cases. He sent this one flying 114 miles per hour, so that's flexing your muscles a little bit.
There's a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Bush stands at second with no outs. Next offering is in for a strike.
1 ball, 2 strike.
Popped up right side. Vaughn hauls it in for the out.
The batter, number 2, second baseman, Nico Horner.
So here's Horner now. Swinging a foul out of play. Bounced out to short. In time to Vaughn. And he's out.
Now batting, the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Here's the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most. Swinging a foul back, that's out of play.
Well, he gets to balls that get by most people at that position. Just really impressive because there are certain times the ball comes off the bat, automatically that team that hit it thinks that they've got a base hit or they may have extra bases, and he just takes it away.
Well, that's a base hit. Coming home. He'll score easily. It's an RBI single, and they lead by 2.
Well, he found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. You'll often hear the phrase short to it, long through it, and that's a great example of it right there. Got the barrel in the hitting zone early, squared it up with the well-timed swing, and came away with a beautiful line drive into center field. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Workman at the plate for the 3rd time as he comes up empty there.
I love this part of the game. Does he really want to try and steal second against this catcher? I know he's
Runner takes off. Pitch misses. Throw, save. That's a stolen base. Runner at second, 2 down. Here at the bottom of the 7th. Tap foul at the plate. Swing and a miss, and that is that. They get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Cubs 2 and the White Sox nothing. Welcome back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. Porter Hodge.
Now pitching.
These are the spots relievers really make a name for themselves. Late and close. There's not much margin for error, but at the same time, there's a reason they're put in these situations.
So now the DH spot, Miguel Vargas. 1 for 2.
Vargas.
Misses off the plate. And that is ball 1. The Cubs bullpen with some action. Ryan Presley, the closer, is getting loose. Next offering is fouled back. The 1-1 is fouled off. Pitch in the dirt. The count now 2-2. Gets a piece and stays alive. And a swing and a miss. Beat him with a fastball.
Not the best location with the fastball on strike 3, but when you're pumping high 90s, you get away with some of those. More margin for error. You know, the fastball has become such a huge strikeout pitch in the sport, and I think a lot of it has to do with all the attention and emphasis on improved spin rates. These fastballs are just exploding out of the pitcher's hands and jumping through the zone.
Baldwin into box again, takes a strike. The 0-1. Line drive. Come on.
Well, baseball can be cruel, can it? I mean, sometimes it gives and sometimes it takes away. He did everything right on that swing, but he's got nothing to show for it.
2 outs, base is empty. And here's the catcher, Corey Lee. First offering and it just misses. 2 down, nobody on, and we're in the top of the 8th. Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. Crow Armstrong makes the play, and that's the 3rd out.
Now pitching for
back
the White
now,
Sox.
New pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th. Number 64.
Shane
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Now the Cubs catcher,
for
Miguel
the
Amaya.
Cubs, the catcher, Miguel Amaya.
That hits the dirt. Ball 1.
The only adjustment he needs to make is his target. If you aim at the outside corner, that slider's going to end up way off the plate. Perhaps look a little more down the middle, and you get it right where you want it.
Check swing, called strike. On the ground right side. He takes it on his own. Leadoff man is out here in the 8th.
Now batting, left fielder, Ian Happ.
Here's the left fielder, Ian Happ. Former first-round pick out of the University of Cincinnati. Grew up in Pittsburgh. And that drops in for a strike.
No ball. 1 strike.
Happ checks his swing, appeal to 3rd, and Ed Drummond right on it says he held up. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Base is empty, 1 away. Here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Next one misses, and the count is 2-2. Swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up to the heater.
You usually are going to see that inside fastball a little
right
longer
fielder,
coming in
30,
from the opposite side, but that pitch really got in on him right there. I mean, that's a well-thrown pitch. Tough to do anything with that in terms of getting the hands through and the sweet spot of the bat to the baseball.
Tucker stands in with 2 away as he takes a ball. And that's off the inside edge. 2 balls, no strikes. Two down, nobody on. And a breaking ball misses outside. Seiya Suzuki waiting for a turn at the plate. Hammered down the right side, but foul. Two outs. Hit in the air, left field. And Benintendi able to make the grab. And that will end the inning.
Now pitching for
We're
the
back,
Cubs.
and on the mound is the closer,
Number 55.
Ryan Presley.
And I can't imagine any save is an easy one. You're holding a small lead on the scoreboard, and you know those hitters are going to give you the best at-bats they can. So it's always high stress. Let's see what he's got here to try and close it out.
Tachman at the plate and takes high there. Presley, multi-time All-Star, 36 years old, and they traded for him earlier this year. That one missed.
That's a good pitch there. Really had some run and finished a little up and in just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, hit a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
Ball 3. 3-0.
And there's the automatic.
It's been tough for the offense so far, but you can't get frustrated. You got to find a way to shake it off, go up there and relax. That's the only way you're going to be able to put runs up on the board.
Fought off foul.
Instead of letting the hitter get his arms extended, tied him up a little bit, slightly up, slightly in.
And that's ball 4. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, a breaking ball in that 3-2
Up next
count
for
kind of
Chicago,
tells you that
the
that's the
center
pitch he
fielder,
has the most
Luis
confidence in right now.
Robert.
Just couldn't find the strike zone.
And now it's Luis Robert. 1 for 3. Fouled off down the right side. Fastball for a strike. With the tying run at the plate here at the top of the ninth. Strike 3, got him swinging. And a strikeout for the first out here in the ninth. Benintendi up here. 0 for 3 in this one.
Benintendi.
Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Man at first, 1 away. Line to right, base hit. They get it in quickly. So first and second, now 1 out.
Well, that certainly feels good when you can win the at-bat after being down in the count, up against it with 2 strikes right there. Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that. Really important at-bat coming up now.
And now it's going to be Andrew Vaughn. Pitch misses there, and that's ball one.
Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
Tuchman, the lead runner at second. Benintendi at first. One gone. Just missed.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
That misses. Ball three.
This is a really good feeling for a hitter. At this point in the ball game, you know that they don't want to walk you, so you're going to get a pitch to hit. You just better not miss it.
Josh Rojas in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. 3-0 down. Fastball for a strike at 95. And that one is lifted in the air. Pat should have this one. Squeezes it. 2 down.
Just pulled off of it a little bit right there. That front shoulder coming open instead of staying closed. If he does that, he's going to be able to go up the middle the other way with some authority instead of a fly out to left.
So they're down to their final out. And next to hit for the Sox, Josh Rojas. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. Swing and a drive. This one is crushed. No doubt about it. And here in the late stages, they have the lead. He leaves the yard to right. And they jump in front in the ninth. It's 3-2. Well, that swing changes things.
Yes, it does. They were in striking distance, and they found a way to fight back big time. Looks like this guy was looking out over the plate, but he was ready to turn on the inside fastball. So direct to the pitch, absolutely blasted out of this ballpark.
Here comes the manager out of the Cubs dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Ryan Presley won't go any further, and he leaves in a 1-run game. New pitcher coming on. We'll be back in a minute.
Now pitching for
Ryan
the Cubs,
Brazier into the game.
number 54, Ryan Brazier.
So 2 down. Here's the second baseman, Lenny Sosa. That one misses, and that's ball one. One-run game here in the top of the ninth. That misses the zone, and now 2-0. Activity in the bullpen. Caleb Thielbar preparing to come on if needed. And that misses. Now 3-1. Outside, and it's ball 4.
One of the things about that 2-out walk, the base runner over at first base is going to have a very aggressive secondary lead. So a ball down the line or an into the gap will produce a 2-out RBI, and those are the best. That is, if you are the offensive side of it.
Vargas, the next to hit, takes ball 1. Crowd locked in right now. 1-run game here in the ninth. Pitch is in there, and now it's even 1-1. He swings and fouls one off. Foul ball, still a 1-2 count. He goes down looking. And some late inning drama here in the ninth as this homer gives them the lead. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Back after this on the show. Welcome back, and here comes the closer, Justin Anderson. He
Now
has a great
the
slider
White
with
Sox.
tons of movement.
Number 60, Justin Anderson.
And here's the DH
Leading
for the
off
Cubs,
for the
Seiya
Cubs,
Suzuki.
The designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki.
And that one upstairs, ball one. One-run game, bottom nine. That one finds the corner, and it's 1-1.
One way to make a guy real uncomfortable at the plate is pound him inside with good velocity. They're doing that right here.
Anderson ready to work. That's outside. 2-1.
Well, an interesting situation. One swing you can tie up the ball game, but if you're patient and work a walk, then you bring the game-winning run to the plate.
The 2-1. Hard hit, but right at him and left.
Well, off the bat, it looked like they
first
might get
baseman,
that tying
Michael.
run on base, maybe even extra bases. No dice, though. A little unlucky on that one.
He's 2 outs away. Michael Busch, the next Cub to hit. And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Just amazing to me how many closers and back-end relievers just throw absolute gas these days. I never would have had a chance.
And now the count is even. One down, base is empty. High in the air, out to right. Topman on the move. And there's 2 away.
Now batting, the shortstop,
Dansby Swanson stands in.
Swanson.
There's a strike.
And I know you want to be patient as a hitter, but you got to be ready to jump on the first thing straight. And he got one right there, but left the bat on his shoulder.
No, that's a ball.
A 1-run lead. And the home team trying to pull it out. Anderson is just 1 strike away. Fouls it off, still 1-2. The shortstop takes the ball. And it remains 2-2. Trying to close out a 1-run lead. We're in the last half of the 9th inning. Right side, hard hit. Throw to first. Ball game. And the White Sox hold on to win a tight one as this one ends as a 1-run ball game.
Well, all game, this team had to battle with that 10th man, those fans making a lot of noise, but they took the lead in the 9th inning, quieted things down, and were able to get those final 3 outs in the bottom half as well. Just a very well executed ball game.